About now? How about now? We were just going. The show was just going.
No, you hit mute at the end of the show, the end of the last one. You always do this, and you don't hit start last one. Like last time when we started Stanley, it was 10 minutes of this shit too. Take accountability. This. Tell me that's right.
It's not right.
Yes, at the end of the show, you play your outro music,
This was just
and you hit the
going.
mute on the microphones. You hit mute at the last show to your outro
I don't
music.
hit mute.
Yes, you do. You do. It's a lie. God, it pisses me off. Fuck it.
You did. We
Hold on, buddy.
we need to get this guy. Hey, are you? Check your heart.
No,
you okay?
Listen.
We're back. We're back.
Yes, Ray.
What's up, Ray? Ray Machuca.
Hey, they don't like glasses? Was that true? I think that's true. Oh, was that true about you, Mr. Sailor?
You need a
No,
beer?
actually, I can tell you this. R.I.P. Ray.
He's dead. He's done.
He's gone.
He's dead.
That's Mr. Felters to you, please, by the way.
Mr. Felters,
please,
yeah.
Please refer to me as Mr. Felters from now on.
So when you weren't watching the trial,
No, I was down at Brad's house.
you guys trapping?
I can't tell you. Listen, I can't disclose that information.
What happens in the Matrix happens in the it's in the Matrix.
And you text me, go, oh my God, they're talking about my boo-boo.
I did
I
not.
said, they're talking about you, boo-boo.
You are full of fucking shit. You are full of shit.
Boo-boo, I won't
Yeah,
say
Wickham's in your shit right now because you're lying about ice cream.
I'll pull the picture out of me eating ice cream.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to introduce the next week?
Yeah, it'd be nice. You shut the hell up.
Hey, Uber Eats, baby.
Yeah, freaking fellers. All right, so my studio is right next to a sushi place. He ordered Uber Eats to deliver it across the street, not just to go because you can't pick up the phone call. This is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm dealing with, folks. All right, so today on the show we have got Brad Nagel. He's been on before, twice actually. It's your third appearance on the show. You get asked about a lot, so appreciate you coming on. And I sent the picture of the beaver, the trapped beaver that you got.
The 60-pounder.
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 So how many beavers in a season do you normally get? Like, was that like the biggest one you've ever got? I mean,
no, it was just
a big ass beaver.
At this area where I deer hunt at, there's a few beavers that are damming up the creek. So I was like,
Took out the end.
wow, I'm gonna go trap a few beavers. I do a lot of trapping, kind of obviously trapping's old school stuff, and I still enjoy doing it. It's kind of a lost art a little bit, but I like.
That's why I was curious.
I still keep doing that stuff, so I went ahead and got out of my deer stand. We got dark, went down and checked the set I had for beaver, and
Tell me how you said it though.
put it underneath the water.
Yeah, but
big conibear.
how did you find with the fiber?
Oh, taking a fiberglass pole and going along the edge on the bottom and trying to find the trail in the hole that goes up underneath the bank, and so I put a trap in there and conibear. It's called a 330 conibear. And
So
staked it
It's
down,
a big
so
one.
it
That's a big
swam
trap.
So you know what happens?
Yeah, it's a big trap.
He swam in to go home, and guess what? He didn't make it home.
He gone.
Yeah, didn't make it. So
That's great.
yeah.
So when I say like lost art, so when I was like 8th grade, so it'd have been 98, 97. Like I grew up on a farm, so that's like coon price. Like you catch a coon, and the prices were just like dog shit. So like, is that I haven't trapped since then. Don't know anybody else. I do know a couple people that trap, but are the prices good? Why do you do it?
I mainly what I do it for. I mostly trap coyotes, and well, the other reason I do it too is I did a lot of it when I was a kid, and so when I was a kid in the late 70s and early 80s, I mean, prices for like raccoons and were like $30-35.
Okay.
I mean, that's not even skinning or doing anything. I mean, but now, yeah, the price. I don't trap raccoons but I do, however, trap coyotes. So in southern Iowa and Iowa in general, there's the coyote population is literally getting out of control. I mean, they're everywhere. So I just kind of take it a step further. One, it gets me outside. It gets me still doing an old school trait.
Yeah.
That I think that's kind of dwindling away. And
Did your dad teach you to do it, or you teach yourself?
I do cool stuff. I make jackets out of coyotes. I have mittens. I got badger mittens. I make cool stuff out of them, man. So, trapping coyotes and even hunting coyotes is kind of. I'm probably more of that than a deer hunter because that to me it's more of a challenge, and it's a formidable adversary. Put it that way. It's a predator versus predator a little bit. So,
all right. So
into that.
So if you're new to the show and seeing Brad's a retired Navy SEAL supposedly.
No, I am. I'm retired. 2012.
Okay. All right. Navy SEAL. So
I got too old and skinny.
They said you're getting too old. All right. So so this is kind of like you see adversary. Like this is like you see them as the enemy and you got to take them out. I
respect them in a sense because they're one is they're a predator. I'm a big dog lover, so but I do go after coyotes. And main thing is they're just overpopulated. So a lot of times farmers will call me too because during calving season, a coyote will sit next to a cow having a calf, like literally sit there, and so as it's calving, the calf comes out, the coyotes will eat it as it's coming out.
Jesus.
So a lot of times farmers will call me because they got issues with coyotes getting their calves and stuff. So I just kind of take a step further, trap them, and I don't just discard them after I trap or hunt them. I actually, I made a couple jackets out of coyotes already here in Southern Iowa. I got some pretty kick-ass mittens made out of coyote.
Maybe we make a hat for Tiger.
We can make a hat for Tiger.
I want one.
Big Russian hats, Russian style.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah.
With a tail down the back of the
Yeah,
give me whatever. Anything
we can do that.
Anything that comes from Brad, I want it. If he killed it, I want it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting, like, because coyotes are freaking smart.
Oh yeah.
So like you enjoy trapping more than,
and you have to hunt them in the harsher conditions to really have success hunting them. And I think that's why a lot of people don't hunt coyotes as much.
They'll call them, right? They'll put a predator call
because it's hard. Yeah, but it's hard. I mean, because when I say hard, I mean your success rate goes up if you're out there, 0 degree weather, snow on the ground, and at night and cold and wind, low wind. But that's why a lot of people. I know why a lot of people don't hunt coyotes because it's hard.
Well,
I like it because it's hard. It's a more.
I was alluding to the trapping side being harder than probably calling it hunting side. So if we're gonna go out, you got a new farm you're gonna hunt, right? Or you're gonna set your traps.
Mm-hmm.
Like how much intel how much intel work do you do around the farm before you set your traps? Like
a lot.
So explain that to me.
No different than deer hunting. Every deer hunter, your good ones, the guys that are getting the big deer, the guys that get the big deer, these are guys that put a lot of time and work and intel gathering. That's what they're doing. They're gathering information on that deer beforehand. They kind of maybe go scout the areas out. Where they looking at their movement is, where there's their trails going. Are they cutting across creeks, stuff like that, where they bedding down at, so same thing with coyote hunting or trapping. You just have to find out. Now coyotes run edges, so you know what.
What does edges mean?
Edges are like coyotes like to cruise edges of fields or tall grass, like they like being along the edges, or a draw that comes out. They just travel along the edges, and when so they're kind of scenting an animal, then they'll go into the kind of like a bird dog. They'll cruise the outside.
I want to talk about bird dogs and Tony.
So
So
I obviously scout the area, and I will take maps. I'll do a map study. I'll look at a route, do all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of similar to what deer hunters do.
Well, I was going to make a different similarity, but
so I don't put out so many trail cams for coyotes. as you would for deer hunting. So that's probably the difference.
So I know it's a lot less, retired, don't do it anymore. Is it give you some the same things that you did like when you were in the teams, kind of like not the same exhilaration, but like the preparation, like and then it's like the reward of
Oh yeah, you're it's kind of still doing the hunt.
gotta get the intel right. Gotta get a plan together.
Yeah.
Sometimes shit doesn't go right.
Yeah, all that stuff, and that's why I enjoy that. That's why I spend a lot of time outside. I've taken up hunting really hard. I mean, I hunt all year round. I mean, if I shoot a buck first 2 weeks in October, I hunt. I still, it doesn't matter. I'm not done. Most guys get their big deer in the second week and they tell me they're done. I'm like, what do you mean you're done? You can hunt till January, and now you're hunting does. Okay, so I get a big buck. I'm not done. I'm done when the season's over.
Yeah.
Because so now I even get as many doe tags as you want. So I'm never done. I hunt the whole time. And
learning the whole time.
Yeah. So it's not about going out there and killing stuff. It's not about that. It's kind of about it's about the hunt. It's about getting after it and doing stuff. And I like a lot of alone time. Because I have a lot of positive thoughts when I'm by myself. On that, you get around too many people all the time, you're gonna rub off too much negative stuff. So the most positive energy that I usually have is when I'm by myself. I have self-talk, so I self-talk to myself in a positive way, and I just have better thoughts, and hunting does a lot of that. So,
people use the term like self-talk a lot. Like sometimes I think it's like people use it just as rhetoric, like a keyword, like a trendy word. You know what I mean? So when you say self-talk, like that means you going through like a regular schematic or certain things that what's your version of, you don't get too like for the personal part of it, but like what would be your recommendation for someone from a self-talk perspective, how do they start it? What kind of things should they be self-talk about? How often you should do it?
Reminisce on the good things that you've accomplished in your life instead of the negative things. So a lot of sports athletes have the issue sometimes when they're starting having problems in their performance. Oh God, I hope I don't drop that pass like I did last year in the fucking playoffs. Instead of thinking that way, they should be thinking about, God damn, I was all-state last year. And I can fucking, man, I am, you know what I mean? So you're having self-talk like, fuck, I want the, I am good. So so you recollect on that time when you broke a touchdown, game-winning touchdown, whatever. Don't think about the time you dropped a pass. So sometimes athletes will think about the negative stuff. Hopefully they don't do that negative thing again. Don't think that way. Just think about all the cool stuff you did. And then you just self-talk like, yeah, you are pretty badass. I am awesome. I've done this and this and this. All the negative stuff I've done, I don't even, all my self-talk is not, I don't self-talk myself about something negative. Unless I'm doing something I feel I'm not being productive or need to work out. I look in my mirror. I'll just look in the mirror quick and just self-talk. I don't have a six-pack anymore. That's pathetic. Just be hard on yourself a little bit. That's when I talk to myself in a negative way. Is when I need to do something more myself.
Hey, we turn the heat up in here.
Are you hot?
No, it's cool.
Are you cold?
No, Jesus Christ, it's like a sauna in here. God. Get that heat right on you.
God, you're like a.
Hey, so what about?
Are you?
Hey, is it hot in here or not?
Oh, it's not
He's
bad.
got a fucking stocking hat on.
I don't have a
you
side.
got like 8 jackets on.
I don't know. You gotta get ready for battle. So talk about the positive stuff. How do you balance that between
Get a
people?
fucking tissue. Jeez, what's the problem?
Hey, you got.
I'm gonna double A you today.
You know how you got your med pack? Put a tourniquet on his mouth here in a minute. When I break his jaw.
Well, tourniquet ain't gonna help out.
I don't know. Might help him with that sushi popping out the sides of it. People talk about positive talk and things you did. The flip side of that is being delusional, trying to talk yourself into something that's not, like you're not accepting like what's going on in your life too, right? Like,
Well, being honest with yourself.
no, but people that aren't
talk-
being honest with themselves, like if you're fucking up and not doing things right, like so you can be positive, right? But there may be also a process or things that you were doing when those positive things happen that you're not doing anymore. People always want to look at the result part of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, what were you doing when you were doing all the awesome shit day to day, not just the end results of like when you were all state or whatever. You know what I mean?
I was able, because when I had that thing, it was I remember those times. It was I was sitting, I didn't have a lot of extracurricular stuff going on. I had one thing to do, so it's easier to stay focused and conquer that.
So we're trying to get Tony to do.
Yeah.
He's on the.
Trying to get him.
You know what he does?
I'm sharing the show. I'm trying to get a share.
See, you still got the camera on me and you're talking. See how that
I'm
works?
trying to share the show. Jesus Christ.
Here, hold on. We're gonna take an eating break for
All right,
7 minutes.
We're just gonna have it on Brad. No more on fellers.
I didn't say about me. I don't need to be on. It's not about me. It's about you.
All right, it's on fellers.
What's the most coyotes you got in the year?
64. Last year I got. 60,
Did you know how many that is?
64.
Trapping.
It's a lot.
Trapping and hunting all together.
So
64.
so you haven't set your lines yet though. Yeah, it's not
No.
cold enough yet.
No. So
What goes into what is the for someone that has never hunted coyotes
He just talked about
or
that. Didn't he?
trapping them? Like what?
I thought you
what's
talked
he
about
talking about?
Like I mean, I've heard people like they get in trucks and then they shoot that they come in and that people hunt coyotes that way.
Yeah.
That's
people
not how
do
you
that.
roll, right?
I don't do any of that. I use a collar, which is like a Fox Pro. It's a speaker system that blares out different animals that are in distress. That's a prey for a coyote. So obviously, like an adult cottontail, it's a speaker system, and it sounds like a dying rabbit. So in the cold, and that's what will bring in bobcats and coyotes.
Okay.
That. So, and then they got a wide range of different calls in there too. So I use a locator call where it'll just blare coyotes like yipping, and then you pause it, and then you look for other coyotes in the area to respond, so that you use that to see if there's any other coyotes in the area. So, okay, now I know there's other coyotes. There's coyotes that respond to this caller, the coyote locator. Now I'll go back, give it a few minutes. Now I'll go back into using like a adult cottontail distress call.
How's that sound?
Like a dying rabbit. Oh yeah, that's pretty.
It's like me and Tony.
It's like me
wrestling.
taking you down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I double leg him. And
But I mean, if you're ever deer hunting and you hear a squealing rabbit, it's probably getting eaten by a bobcat or a coyote.
There's a lot of bobcats too.
Yeah, a lot of bobcats, especially southern Iowa.
Ton.
Ton.
I mean, there's one that Mitch showed me on that camera. I mean, it
He's
looks
got
like
a huge one
monster.
running around.
Have
A
you
lot of them.
have you
The biggest one I caught was last year, actually.
how big?
It was probably about
Hager and a half?
35 inches long. I think.
No way.
Yeah,
so it's like a coyote.
35 or 36 inches.
What do you do with it after if you're catching all these? Like what's the process from like obviously killing
Well, you
the
skin
coyote,
it.
you skin it,
Yeah,
and then
skin it,
is there
collect-
fur traders still out there? Like what's the process after that? Or you said you obviously
I
make
sell some of them.
you make
and
your
then
own stuff,
I'll
but-
sell some of them. The coyotes. You can send them to. I haven't done this yet. You can send them to Canada if they have an auction up there. And then some of them I pick out about 10 or 11 coyotes that match up in color, because some coyotes are lighter than others.
Okay.
And so you have a wide range of coyotes, but so if I need 11 for a jacket, I kind of match them up color wise, and then I'll set those offside and get it.
How many total to make a jacket?
11 would be a stroller sized jacket with a hood.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So I made my fiance one, so she has a stroller jacket with a hood and also a silk liner on it. So it's pretty cool.
I'm curious.
All southern Iowa. Those coyotes. So the coyotes came from Clark County,
Homegrown.
and Warren County. So it's a Warren County coyote jacket.
So you're-
Let's call it that.
So when
One
you
of a kind.
you
One
walk
kind.
you walk into Casey's in Truro, is there one in Casey's? And
You know
I'm
where that's
assuming
in Casey's.
No,
I'm
they
assuming
got-
there's a
where they got one?
Casey's?
St. Charles. They got one in
St. Charles. You
yeah.
walk in and be like, oh, there's a coyote guy. There's a coyote. Are you that guy?
No,
Are
I
you-
don't think so.
Hey, they didn't say when he's in the service. Hey, there's a seal.
There's a lot of other guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that do it. That
He's
coyote
kinda
hunt, too,
low-key.
that have been doing
I
it
know.
for a while and that are really good, you know. And like I said, I've been out of the loop for a long time. I used to do this when I was younger, and just kind of get back into it. But it's just doing something. I would just rather go do that and be outside doing something than watching the news and getting all frustrated and pissed off, and then you can't sleep. So I just get away from all that stuff nowadays.
So coyotes are what you're.
Yeah, I just like
But-
during the winter months in Iowa. That's what I like to do, man. That's kind of my time, and I enjoy it, being outside. And same thing in deer hunting now too. So,
And did your
and we're trying to get fellers to deer.
are you
He's
self-taught?
a little nervous, so we're working on that.
Are you
I am
self-taught?
nervous.
Yeah,
I'm nervous. I'll never go home for my kids. So I've never deer hunted before ever because I just know how I am, and
Yeah.
But
I'll get hooked.
I will say that it's funny you bring that up because I think sometimes that I'll get into it too hard. Sometimes, like I'll be running coyotes like all day long, almost into the night, like all day. Like I'll run myself tired when it's like, oh, I might need to
balance.
You got to balance that stuff because you don't want to you got to be careful taking away time from others, family members, and kids and stuff. So even though you enjoy it, you got to. So I think there's times when I had to reel myself back a little bit because I felt like I was missing out some family stuff. So especially with the boys, and I'm like, God dang, that's all you do is kind of.
When I was like in 5th, 6th grade, I remember like, my cousins were older than me, so like with your boys, and I always like wanted to do that. Like they wouldn't let me touch the traps. They wouldn't let me set the traps. They wouldn't let me do that. So are your boys like? I mean, do you bring them out? Are they interested in that?
Well,
How do you plan on?
My oldest boy does a lot of that. He has a lot more patience than my younger one. My younger one can sit still for about 30 seconds, and that's
Me and him get along.
yeah. So,
I bet.
but my oldest boy, actually, he got his first buck this year in youth season. Actually, his first deer ever was. And the crazy thing about his youth season buck that he got this year is he shot this nice 8-point buck in the same exact location that he shot his first coyote. He shot his first coyote like 2 or 3 years ago. Crazy thing is he shot this buck and they died in the same spot. And they were both his first coyote and his first deer that I ever shot. Both of those died in the same spot.
Wow.
Which is crazy. I'm not even making that up. It was almost kind of weird in a way. But that happened this year, so that was a big deal.
Interesting.
But my oldest also has a lot of fishing. He's a lot more patient fishing. My youngest one, if you don't catch something in the first minute, Dad, there's no fish in the he literally is trying to sell me that there's no. I ain't caught nothing there ain't any fish in the pond. This pond doesn't have any fish in it.
How do you reel yourself back as someone's like, all right, the patience, let's figure out where the fish are at. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
How do you reel yourself back to be like, come on, dude?
Oh, same thing. You just like keep reiterating that. Just take your time, or you go over there and fish with them a little bit. Go back and forth with both sons are fishing. I just go back and forth.
Yeah.
So I just go back over there and fish with him a little bit, and then talk and kind of keep him in the game a little bit.
I'm curious. What is? I mean, I'm putting myself in. I didn't hunt like with guns or anything like that. I'm never
Nice.
hunter.
You fish.
Fish, but
Kinda.
I would trap. I would kind of trap on the outside. Like my cousins would trap. I knew other people that would set traps, so I would go check them.
With
like
them.
I
You
fucking
Dude,
love
hold
this
on!
shit.
Don't throw.
Yeah.
Why are you throwing so many watermelons at me?
I know. You're just
He traps the
little puppy
women,
dog.
and sometimes he throws other traps.
I remember like I'm just trying to get your perspective of this. Shut up, fellas. Is I would ride on my 4-wheeler and the funnest part of it was seeing the tracks, and if they went around the
Yep.
trap, it was never like, oh, I caught something. It was more of like to see the animal's thought process of what they're doing. I guess
It's a game. It's essentially, you're seeing if you can to get them. I mean, really, can I outsmart them, or can I pull it off?
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with deer hunting. Deer hunting is hard. especially if you're talking those big bucks. I mean, that's a lot of work goes into that.
Badgers.
And a lot of people don't give deer hunting, I think, a lot of credit, because I mean, if you really, the guys I know that get decent deer, oh, he always gets all these big deer. Well, that guy, they put a lot of work goes into that. It's more than just, pulling your bow back and being a good shot. There's the preparation phase. You have to plan your routes into your deer stand. Which way is the wind direction going? Your clothes, putting your clothes in a container with leaves so it smells like, all that stuff. Food plots, certain areas, and setting up trail cams. I mean, it's a process, and I don't think sometimes those guys get enough credit. I mean, it's hard work, man, and there's a lot better, way better, I think, really good deer hunters, definitely in Southern Iowa, than myself. Have I gotten big deer? I have, but there's guys out there that are, that are savvy, a lot savvier and a lot better hunters than I think even myself.
What did Mitch Johnson tell you to? He's like had to get a certain shampoo.
Oh, deodorant and all that stuff.
Yeah. Did you go hunting with him yet?
Yeah, I went yesterday.
How was it?
It's great.
Get something?
No. I would say the part for me that, like I even told him, the part for me that I loved it was just, you're basically checking out from the world. It was like,
you're checking it, yeah.
You get a chance just to be in your own mind and just enjoy life.
Get away from all the clutter.
Yeah. No phone.
Now
that was me, not him. Not, that's one thing I said to him was like,
for you.
For me, we wasn't on my phone at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just really removing and just enjoy life around you, versus it like rushing, like go to sitting there and just being so engaged in all the other stuff. Oh, you got one or you didn't get one, and then you're on like you're jumping through your ass all the time. It's like, if you're gonna go do it, then enjoy it. Like I used to be like, I loved to bird hunt, okay, and it was always until like the last couple, probably 3 or 4 years. Like I said, growing up, some days you may catch me on this. Used to be like, we used to do like, no one was gonna kill more birds than us. We shoot our limit. It was like always how many we shot,
mm-hmm.
right? Shoot your limit. How many you guys shoot? Like I was always with the meter of success or a great hunt was always quantified by the number of whatever you shot. You shot your limited quail. You shot how many pheasants you guys shoot. Oh, we got this many. It was like
mm-hmm.
trying to like prove yourself versus now like, go spend time with my dad or whatever, right? It's like enjoying the dogs. Like it's we're absorbing so much. Like you're on your phone, you're on your computer, you're doing this, you're that. Like okay, I told you this before. It's like you can be. There's a lot of times. And I think this is what I've gotten a lot better at home is you're there, but you're not present.
Oh, I still have that problem.
And it's something you have to hard, right? Like
it's hard. I'm struggling with that still.
It's like I'm there, but I'm not present. Like, hey, I was home, but were you really home? Like, you know what I mean?
Your mind's somewhere else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because what it is, and that's where I've had the problem of taking on too much stuff at one time. Because obviously when I was in the SEAL teams, I had one thing to do, folks, and that was all I did and all I think about. I didn't have like multiple business
and people are telling you what
going
to do
on, right? Like and what's what I have going on now, and that sometimes is like, man, I forget stuff now more than I ever used to. I lose my keys all the time now. I'll leave my wallet. I can't find my wallet, and it just, and what that is I think of all the clutter going on all the time. And I was always, like I said, I've been on SEAL missions, and, I used to carry a radio, and sometimes when I was a new guy and I had batteries and cables, all this stuff, I never forgot that shit. So my environment was probably different then because it's life or death. When you're in a life or death situation, you don't forget. Your mindset's like, you're going to double check shit, and you're not going to leave shit. You're not going to forget shit most of the time. Because it's when it becomes life or death, when it's high risk. When things are high risk, everybody's fucking engaged, right? You can take somebody that's completely lazy and you put them in a life or death situation, they'll fucking snap to real quick. Real quick. I don't care who they are.
Yeah.
But you got to put them in that situation. So people have never been in that situation. So there's a cure to everything. cures laziness, all that. But the problem I have now is I'm not in a life or death situation, so it's almost like I've relaxed a little too much, and now I got all this clutter going on in my life. Now, when I say clutter, meaning like just like I have like 1,000 errands going on. It seems like a day. I got business stuff going on at certain meetings. I forget. I gotta. Fuck. Now I'm forgetting my keys. So even sometimes people are like, "God damn, you're a Navy SEAL and you can't keep track of your keys." I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of embarrassed. I'd be like, "Yeah, I know. I'm an idiot." But and I would think back. I'm like, God, why am I? So that's where I go in my self-talk. I'm like, why am I leave my keys and stuff? I'm like, kind of like, I never forget shit. It's maybe it's old age. I'm almost 50 now. But what I came up with is, I think, just now in the civilian world, I don't have one focus anymore. I have like a lot of shit going on. I got the kids, I got business stuff going on, and just a multitude of things. So it's clutter. There's a lot of clutter going on in your head. So your mind's racing all the time. And like saying, you'll forget simple stuff: your keys, your wallet, shit. You feel like you're just losing. And it's very frustrating to me, too. I get frustrated myself, and that's it, man. So when I go hunting, that's like the one time, like we're talking about your mind's racing. It's like that's when you just kind of can just. I need to wind down sometimes, because I had 21 years, 13 of those years in SEAL teams. It was jumping through your ass all the time. Like it was go, nonstop, in and out of different countries all the time. Planes, you get back from one trip, you're packing your bags for another trip. Going up to Alaska, you're back from Alaska, you're packing your bags, going out to deserts in Arizona the next week. So that was during training. And then let alone all the war cool guy shit came on later on. But so now so it's hard when I got out. You're still kind of in that zone. Like the second I don't have something going on, I'm still struggling with that now. So I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. When really there's nothing I need to do, but I can't help it. It'll be 8:00 at night. Did all this stuff I was supposed to do the day, but I'm sitting on the couch or something for a second or a little bit, or just checking out, the golf or something maybe on. And I'll get up 5 minutes after that because I get that feeling like there's something I'm supposed to be doing. In reality, there isn't, but I'm so geared that way for all the years in the SEAL teams that I struggle with that. Like, no, it's okay to relax. And my outlet has been, that's done the best for me to actually, is the deer hunting or the coyote hunting. That's the thing that's helped me more, forced me to like, okay, now I relax. I had a hard time relaxing when I first got out of teams going deer hunting. I'd sit in that stand for about 30, 40 minutes, and I would get to the point where like I wanted to get out of the stand and go, which is you don't want to do. But I wanted to go. I couldn't sit there hardly very long because I'm like, oh, I should just go flank some deer somewhere. I see them out there in the distance. Instead of rattling them in, I wanted to get out of the stand and go flank them or something. See the wind, like, I couldn't sit still hardly. Gotten a lot better at that, but it's still a struggle, But doing all that stuff has helped me huge. And like I said, you're checked out from the world. I call it the world of clutter. I say that word a lot, clutter, because everybody listening to this right now is probably thinking like, yeah, I feel like everybody probably feels like I got clutter. Mm-hmm. It's different clutter. Everybody's got different clutter, but it's just all this shit, little stuff going on all the time. It's cluttery. And, you got to break away, and that's hunting's been doing that, man.
Yes. So you went out and you said that you were out with Johnson, just being out there. You weren't worried about the hunt. It was
just enjoying the things around. Like, do you want to go out and shoot something? Yeah, with it's nice or whatever. But it's like see some deer, watch the sunrise come up. Was up in a stand and cut out cedar tree.
Yeah,
got right out of the truck right before daylight. Heard quail whistling. It was like
first thing. Other animals.
Yeah. It's just like it also brings back a lot of reminiscing and memories of like kind of, I don't mean to get like too like deep on it, but it gives you a moment to sit back and kind of be thankful for what you, not just what you have, but what you've experienced thus far.
100%.
It's yeah, it's good. It's, and doing with people that you like is very, very important too.
Yeah.
So my best memories of my entire life are going out with my dad and my close friends, and like I'll remember. I could sit here and tell you stories for 3 hours, just like about when we were hunting in Sonoyta, Arizona. Burns quail, only place in the whole world this species of quail is, and you're literally right on the border of Arizona and Mexico, and first time you get out, like border patrol are all over. Your dog's on point, GPS 350 yards this way on the mountain, and on the way there, you run into a transporter that's got 4 illegals with him, or you come across abandoned bundles of bricks of weed, and like you're on alert all at all times. But you also don't have cell phone service down there. So the first day, it's like, oh, okay, kind of like, and then after the first day, you just forget about it. It felt like you talk about clutter, and I talk about like simplifying. I was like, how many things do we add to our life, and I'm bad about it too. Bad. Talk about clutter, but we add the simplifying just things that we think is important. It really doesn't matter. Or you want to be part of, and you got to watch this, or do this and do that. Yeah, it's. But then you wonder why we only use I think science, like we only use like 30% of our brain, because it's you keep it, you want to feel busy, yeah, but like when you're watching this or doing whatever, it's like that's limiting your brain from really expanding or evolving at anything.
Yeah,
we just want to stay busy, like in the know.
My problem is I think, and just like, and maybe just as business or whatever, when I was early into getting out of school, I was lazy as fuck. I got into business, and like the people that hustled the most and worked the hardest, like you just gotta go. So now it's like, if there's no deadline for anything for what I do right now, really, and there's no. And I can set goals for myself, right? But like, I almost like having chaos, I guess, too. Like not chaos, but that also is my problem. I get my hands in too much shit.
Yep.
Which now you're saying clutter is, to me, I'm like, okay, these are things I could possibly do, where my mind needs to focus on the hunt, like this one thing, like what you're talking about, and that's hard to get to.
Yeah.
The hunt. Do you ever have a problem with like saying like, how do you with when it comes to hunting season? How do you like say, okay, I'm going hunting for sure from 6 a.m. to whatever time it would be? Do you struggle with like, I just don't have to do it today?
No, probably the bigger thing is it's got to be done by 1 o'clock, because putting constraints on yourself from like a timeline, like,
that's what you just plan it out. Okay, so if someone, what makes it easier for me in the sense I don't have an 8 to 5 job. So if there's a day I want to hunt all day Friday and do nothing else, I'll just schedule that.
Or you might plan on hunting all day and you might be done at noon because it's not good. And the days you need to be done by 1, it's really good. It's like, fuck, like you're juggling to get out of whatever you're in the rest of the day because it's so good you can't get away. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And it makes you feel good, and you get a high from it, and you feel good when you're done. And when it's good, then you want to do it again tomorrow. Like you want to keep experience, like your endorphin, what do they call it, dopamine or whatever in your body. Like, like when I come down here and you smile, Tony, I know you like me to come see it.
It's true. It's true. Like I come
like
in.
It's people. I mean, seriously, say it's like your product of your environment is 1,000% true.
Yeah.
1,000%. You can hang around a bunch of freaking negative people, and you're gonna be negative.
Yeah.
You can look through things. Like, you can be positive. You can, like I told Brad this morning, like I said, seeing you yesterday, like just for the short window, I said it was a jolt I needed. And you've got to be cognizant to be people, here's the term I always use. My dad and I had this conversation last week. I can get my dad on here at some point, but that'd be probably the most nervous I'd be to see like how that show would go. But he always says, you know, you hear this saying, he goes, people say about, oh, so-and-so, oh, he's changed. He goes, yeah, hopefully you've changed, because if I'm the same guy I was 20 years ago, there's a problem.
Yeah.
People are going to change. People that, you know, hear the comment, well, that guy's changed. You know, it's usually like in a negative standpoint. That doesn't mean someone did something wrong. It's just like your life took you a different way and you changed.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully in the next 2 years you change to something better. But if you just stay in what you're in, that's what you're going to be. Because we tell our kids all the time, hey, you really need to evolve. You really need to get better. Like to strive for something of performance or advancement in athletics, socially, academically, all these things. And the same thing we're saying, well, that guy's changed. Well, fuck, he shouldn't be the same guy he was when he was 20 years old.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
That it should be like a new, like you. Oh, I've talked to this guy in 10 years. Well, hopefully I can sit down and talk to him and like, oh, okay, things have changed, like better or whatever. Like, too many people get caught in the associations of what they've also heard from other people about people instead of making their own fucking judgments.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
And people can change.
This
like,
is gonna sound bad, but listen. And I'm not trying to like sound like a badass saying this or whatever, but you've heard me say this a lot. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I don't give a fuck what people think about me as long as I'm being myself. That doesn't mean I'm going to be an arrogant prick or hateful or whatever else. But if people can't really accept you for who you are and you're trying to be something that you're not to fit in, then you're fucking cheating yourself. And if you got to conform to whatever environment you're in to feel like you're part of something, whatever, you're fucking cheating yourself. At some point, it's not that you're cheating people around you. You're cheating yourself. And you go home and you look at yourself and you're like, well, I made the day. I made the cut. Like what? Like you're creating this. I mean, that's really what this whole case like with this is.
Mm-hmm.
You've got guys that, you know, you're creating this character that's not really you. Okay, so this wrestling media thing, majority of the guys, you know, were fucking teachers or internet message boards guys or whatever. Okay, they go to work for something like a Flow or something else, and they have this audience, and they get a platform, and all of a sudden they're expert. And they have all these followers, and they create this fucking persona of what they want people to think that they are.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll say this, and maybe good or bad. Who Christian Piles is right here isn't the same Christian Piles that I knew 3 years ago. And you fucking think you have this power and you're this. Like, step the fuck out of the character, because that character is going to die at some point, and not who you are.
Yeah. That's one thing
That's just like we all create our own characters, whether people give you one or you try to portray something so people say that, hey, I'm really good at this. Like, who gives a fuck? And I don't care how much money you got, and I don't care which kind of car you drive, and I don't care where you go on vacation or what the fuck you got. Just be yourself, because that's all I want. People that are real. That's hard.
And one thing I thought in regards
that
find a needle in the haystack sometimes.
Well, it'll find you, like you and I.
It'll find you.
It'll find you.
It'll find you.
You don't need more people in your life. So you talk about clutter. I think a lot of times people clutter in life is
too many.
Adding fucking people, just like association, just like you feel like you're in the know, part of something.
Strap.
And that's really pulling yourself on long term, because you know that's not you. Mm-hmm. And your kids, you're trying to wear 3 different hats of what you want people, like, inconsistent. You want your kids to be yourself. Like, lead by fucking example. And like the other thing Brad always says, get over yourself. You know, that's why I want to do that DMT thing. I really do. Like, that's my goal by like the end of March, is to do that psychedelic drug like Joe Rogan and those guys talk about. Because I got some doors that I like close to my life, that unanswered things that fucking haunt me still, and like ask questions why and how did so and so turn out. Like, there's a lot of things in life we don't have closure for.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a lot of things that, you know, I fucked up myself because my own ego or decisions I made that maybe I didn't get a chance to have closure on, right? But at the end of the day, we're a speck of dirt in this fucking world. Sometimes we think we're a lot bigger deal than we are. And having that ego death for me is like, I think I've gotten there. I'm not there at all, but I think with J-Mo getting hurt, I took a maybe 50% ego death there. Because selfish motherfucker. I told you before.
Mm-hmm. And
probably burned a lot of bridges and took advantage of a lot of situations and people. And, you know, that's just me being true. Like, because I was just worried about me first. As long as I got around, I give a fuck. And that kind of made me step back. But going and doing that to have some closure and just kind of see the different, that pineal gland, like your life, it happens when you're born, I guess, right when you're right when you're dying, like you give a flashback of everything in your life, and then you're dead. But we're all just specks of dirt. Like whether Willie Saylor is alive or not alive, okay? The rest of the world's still going to go on.
Mm-hmm.
People are still going to have tournaments, still going to write articles.
Yeah.
I mean, and people like just enjoy it. And, I always say this, like I was telling him yesterday, it's like make as many positive impacts or influences in people's life that you can. That's a legacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that kind of went like off on a fucking.
No,
tangent.
you did, but that's good. That's a good thing. And one thing that came up on that, and I know there are people a lot of people are watching this freaking Willie Saylor trial with Flo and Rockfin, and it's a big deal in the wrestling world because they're both very, very important to wrestling. It's not a good thing.
Stop you for a second.
What's going on?
They're important to wrestling because people have made them important to wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay. They're not the sport of wrestling is still going to go on 50 years later.
100%.
So they're not that everything. They're not that pivotal.
Yep. And what I'm saying is
Navy
like
SEALs still going on since you're not in SEALs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going on just fine.
Right.
What I'm trying to get at is
Exactly.
I don't mean that negatively. I'm just
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you saw a glimpse of yesterday when Christian Piles was testifying, and there was a moment where they asked like, is Willie blah 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 like the best there is or something like, and he goes true, and Willie like almost broke because like
Willie or Christian?
Willie did, because he saw that Christian was being maybe his true self. Because at the same time, Christian, Christian's he's an employee of Flow Wrestling. Flow Wrestling's on trial, not Christian. Flow's on trial. So if he dogs on Flow, then that's his livelihood at stake. But you saw a glimpse of like how their relationship was. Like,
Hey, boys.
you know what I mean? Like it's that 1 second. It was literally a second of like, and remembering like I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
Yeah,
but
here's
like,
the thing. It was he saw a glimpse of what their relationship was based on at one point.
yeah, and it
He was
meant
being
a
real.
lot. It meant a lot to Willie.
But Willie's an
but-
emotional. I'll tell you what. He might be a lot of things on the internet. He knows when he's trolling.
Yeah,
He's as pure as guys you're gonna get.
Mhm.
Good, bad, or indifferent. It's gonna be pure. The thing is with this thing is, and I've played this through my head 100 times. Piles can testify, okay, and know in the trial if he's playing the flow card or toward the corporate card, or he's telling the truth, okay? And if he fucking tells the truth and he's not being conflicted with corporate stuff, he can sleep at night, okay? He might lose his job. I'm not saying that would happen.
Yeah.
It might affect his kids and his family financially and his professionally. But he'll be able to sleep at night. And at the end, if that really would happen, would you really fucking want to work for somebody like that anyways? Because at some point it would conflict with you, right? And I told Will at the beginning of this, I said, listen, as long as you tell the truth, everybody will be fine. Good or bad.
yeah. You can sleep. You can go to bed at night.
Well, you'll have no. Here's the thing: you'll have no what if scenarios, or coulda, woulda, shoulda scenarios, and you'll know, hey, I just said what was true or not true. Because you made mistakes, 100%. Everybody has.
Yes.
Listen, all of us make mistakes every day.
100%.
But guess what? My dad always tells me this too. You got to be quick. This goes back to being back in your head. My dad, like, you've never met him, but he says, I forgive myself. How does he say it? I already forgave myself for that. I go, what do you mean? He goes, you got to be quick to forgive yourself. He goes, if I sit around and dwell about the things I fucked up on, he goes, I'm not like just disregarding like it never happened. But if I beat myself up about stuff that I know I did wrong 2 weeks ago or yesterday, the day before, then I'll be speeding in my mind all the time.
Makes sense.
Well, you
you
got to be a doubt.
gotta
You got to be
go.
a doubt and a negative fucking annihilator.
Yeah.
Because how many people are going to tell? How many people in this? And you're just you started. Well, you won't be able to do it because right away. You have, I'm going to do this, and you're hoping. Most people are hoping like, well, that's a great idea. Like, what can I do to help or like build you up? Like, what's the first thing you say? Well, that'll never work because this. You shouldn't do that because that, right? You got a bunch of fucking dream killers and doubt killers or initiative killers. Because why? Because they're not doing shit. They really don't want to be successful. I told you this before. I walked in here in February one time and I said, you're going to go think about going rock fit. And I said, this might hurt people's feelings and whatever else is like, you worry about piss off. You don't really owe the wrestling world or like, you got to take care of yourself first. Okay. And the people that truly everybody enjoys you or talk, they want to be wrestled when it was convenient for them. But how many people are going to be allegiant to the product at the end? Because there's a lot of people around you that you think are on your side that just really want to see it fail. Yeah. Or they don't want to see you getting bigger.
That's for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And with everything going on, I mean, this whole world right now is it's chaos. Like, we look so fucking weak. Like, I don't care who wins the election at this point. We look weak. We have no negotiating power. We look vulnerable to the rest of the world. Like, the most powerful thing, regardless of what happened, has been weakened. But then I got to go home at night and tell my kids about, hey, you should really aspire to be the best at this and you should do this. And they're like, well, yeah, but did you see what happened today? No, but like, they have access to everything.
Yeah, they're getting old enough. They can...
So then they started they start questioning things or close doors in their minds based on something they heard.
Yeah.
Or the access to internet. So you talk about the technology thing. Mm-hmm. They don't even, like, you wonder why kids don't go out and explore anymore in the thing. I'm going to teenagers that, or have that like inquisitiveness to them. Because they're going to fuck Google, type in, well, okay, what happens at Disney World? And they go see Disney World before they're even there.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yes. Or
it
Alexa,
sucks because it's like, okay, you want your wherever you're going to try to experience that kid, you want like their eyes light up and see their reaction. It's like, oh yeah, I already knew this. If we go over here, it's going to be this. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
You've already experienced it.
Yeah.
So they don't want to go out and explore everything because they can explore everything virtually on their phone.
Yeah. How do you get good at fishing?
Yeah. YouTube. Well, get good at it. They can take tips and stuff. But I'm saying like, oh, Dad, when Evan, he's like, I don't know if I want to go, Dad. They're going to Universal Studios. I go, what do you mean? He goes, kid got bit by alligator down there. I go, how the fuck do you know that? He goes, I found it on the internet.
Jesus.
Type in Universal Studios or whatever, and it's like, oh, so-and-so attacked by. Well, now they've got this thought in their mind of what the outcome's going to be already. And they think the internet, everything's true on the internet. And I told them, everything about your dad on there is not true.
Don't Google.
Hey, don't go to iowapolice.gov and look for your dad. That's not me. That was actually a guy that stole my name.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that?
Simplify. Every time you simplify your life, you don't need the next stuff. Like, think about when you just like really simplify your life. Most times you're most happy. When you're jumping through your ass, that's like when you're trying like putting on the thing that you're
stress.
Yeah, but you're acting happy, but you're not. Like you're not at peace. It's like you've got, at least I do. I just got like half my brain pulling to my other half of the brain. Like, okay, like when's enough? I've told you this before.
Yeah, fellas kidnapped me when we came and saw you.
Yeah.
I don't know what day that was, but like
last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, but listen to this. When we left town,
I was dead. I was dead the whole day. I'm disappointed that I was. Because I just didn't go to bed early enough, and then my kids,
he was busy.
I was up all night, and then fellas like, oh, let's go down to Southern Iowa. I'm like, okay, but I didn't really want to, because I was miserable. But like in a normal setting, like this fucker took me. We decided not to do the show one day. End up at this pond, and that was just a great day.
Then all of a sudden, Tony drank 8 beers in like an hour.
Six beers.
Dude, it was under this big tree. It's great. It's like sometimes this stuff can wait.
Yeah.
But I thought you were going to talk about when I took you to East Peru.
Yeah. Yeah. So we left. We saw you. And we went fishing out. Yeah. We We went down fishing, and I had to pick my kids up at, I don't know what time it was. The fella it's just, okay, one more cast. And then he's like, well, let's stop by Mitch's dad's place. On the way there, I'm like, okay, I got enough.
I want to show you the place on the way out of town.
I got enough time. I've been there before. And then all of a sudden we're in East Peru. I'm like, you don't know where the fuck you're going, do you? He's like, I think I took the wrong turn. we ended up at East Peru, trying to go to Mitch's house, and then we end up going through St. Charles.
Oh,
Back through St. Charles to get to the highway. We got there in time. That's all
Hey,
that
that
matters.
nav doesn't work sometimes. Never happened with you? And sometimes compass doesn't work.
Oh yeah, the GPS, Google Earth or something doesn't work.
Jesus. All right, so
Or you're not, or you're just bad on directions.
No, I just wasn't in a hurry to get home.
there were
Oh,
some
okay.
all right, so there were some things
Yeah,
that
but you had a lot of energy that night. By the end of the night,
But nobody died, right?
smiled the
it's
whole
all
time.
good.
you're like, God damn you, fellers.
I was tired.
It's like I
Jesus
said, no,
Christ.
listen. Make sure you put JMO's seat back where you had it.
So there were some other things. How long
You
we
want
been-
to talk to him about the freaking?
Yeah. So well, the Beaver. Okay, we kind of went
We
through
talked
there.
about that.
Got that. So I
Hey,
wanted.
did you tell him we're gonna get mounted? And it's gonna be the theme animal. In
Yes.
In the
So
studio? So
Nagel
back-
got his 60-pound beaver. That
Here,
freaking
hold
thing.
on, I'm
Can
gonna
we?
send you a picture. Pull it up here. Hold on. Just
Well,
go. Keep going. And I got
So
a picture.
we're gonna mount this beaver. Do you have somebody around the area that
Hey,
can do it?
Somebody.
Hager's a hell of a beaver.
Guy?
Mounter. He's a hell of a beaver.
I like
mounter.
the mount beaver, so I can get it done. Especially the.
Hey. Jeez.
Anyways, all right. So
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I got to talking about the show. You said you were gonna come on, and here in the city, like coronavirus came, people didn't know what it was, so people went out and got toilet paper. They got everything they possibly could, like be in their homes. They had to be. No one knew what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are like, oh, you gotta have a bug out bag, like to go and do these things if something happens. People, whatever you gotta do to get away.
Mhm.
And I'm curious, as a Navy SEAL, what's in, like, if shit hit the fan, do you have a bug out bag? What's in yours? Say, where would you go? I mean, don't
If
tell
I
me.
had
Don't
a
tell me
bug
where
out
you
bag
yeah,
in
if you
my
had
house-
one.
If I had a bug out bag in my house.
Yes, if you had one in your house,
I
what
would
would be in it?
Well, first of all, you'd want to what it would be essentials. Would you your food, water, shelter, right? Probably your basic things. So, well, your bug out bag, you might have some snacks in there, but the reality is you want to minimize it, because if your bug out bag is essentially meaning that you're going to be on foot or you're traveling, so you want to minimize the weight and the how much stuff if you have to be on foot. So so if we go food wise, let's talk about maybe some fishing string, right? Fishing string and
Okay.
small hooks.
Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
Don't need a fishing pole, don't need all that stuff, but a little bit of fishing string and hooks, right? If you have to catch fish. Okay, I would have a couple ways to start a fire. That would be matches, maybe a lighter, right? Or maybe do 3 of them and then add a little flint, because flint, if it gets wet, it'll still work. Because so those 3 would start a fire. And then water, I would be lugging around cases of water. It's a bug out bag. They have these small water purifiers. They have now, I was talking about earlier, where you have like a straw.
Okay,
You just literally stick a straw and it filters water. You can stick it in a stream.
it's crazy.
And a water purifier, so that we've kind of gotten past those days where you got to boil water and stuff if you take it out of the stream and all that kind of stuff. So I would have something like that. They're small, and then obviously depending on if I'm here in Iowa, talk about it's cold out. Okay, well you probably need some kind of your warmies, a little bit of extra warm stuff. That's lightweight, that you can shrink down. And then all those things that you would have definitely have to be waterproofed. So your matches aren't going to be good if you don't waterproof it in a bag. But yeah, most of your days might be sunny out, but it's going to rain or get wet, or you fall in the creek or something like that. So there it is.
There it is.
There's the beaver.
60-pounder. Look at his tails screwed up. He must have gotten in a fight when he was younger or something.
The beaver.
You get on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't change the camera yet.
I can't do everything. I mean, come on here. All right, I think is that the right one?
No. Over. There he is.
60-pounder.
There it is.
What are we gonna name him?
Ooh.
We're gonna name him
Wow,
Rooster.
so you guys judge.
Rooster.
Is it a girl or a boy?
Oh, let you figure that out. That might be Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlin, is that you?
No.
Hey, what bathrooms do you use? I don't know. You have both options.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So
You should have. See, I don't know if you got the feature going on. I'm not trying to tell you how to run my show, but
I don't. I pulled over here.
no, I didn't know how you're gonna run my show. But you should see if anybody wants to call in.
Oh, I do have that ability now.
See, I gotta do all the thinking around here.
I do. If someone wants to talk to Brad,
No, ask him a question.
yeah. If anyone does have questions, here, hold on. Let me set this up. But while you're doing that, okay, while I'm figuring this out, so there's another thing I wanted to get to that is like really popular right now on TV is these survival shows. I've seen some on fucking Amazon and shit, and they're I don't know if I've ever seen a seal on there, but
The animal seal.
there's been like Naked and Afraid is a popular one, and they get one item. Usually they get flint, and then they get a machete or
Yeah, they pick
fishing
one.
line.
You watch this shit? You're the kind of people that watch this shit.
Yeah, I'm the people that watch
It's
it.
fake.
I'm like,
It's fake. Just so
Okay.
you know.
all right,
Okay. go
maybe
ahead.
it is. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Made for TV. I don't know. You heard of that saying?
I think Naked and Afraid is legit, but maybe not. So okay, we'll start with Naked and Afraid because that one's pretty popular.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go on Naked and Afraid. What's the one thing that you would take? Also, it all depends on where they're dropping you. Okay, so like,
Yeah.
where's like the shittiest place you've been?
The shittiest place I've been.
The
Like,
studio.
say a place, like a place that like
Primitive and crazy.
Rephrase
Probably.
that. Where's the least?
resources.
No, least ideal place you've been. Not shittiest. Hate because we'll probably get somebody complain about what I'm saying.
There's, I like those places that are like bizarre and pretty. I wouldn't say the shittiest place, but I liked northern Kenya a lot. I've been in there, and probably because it was so. I mean, I felt like I was back in time, like hundreds of years, you know. And you're definitely was removed from the world, and it was just always like we'd be patrolling at night, you know, and you just see all kinds of different shit. These big black spots running from you, you know, and like you just very freaky, you know what I mean? And you just see during the day, you see crazy animals all the time, you know, and stuff, big baboons. And
So how much more? Like just
so I like the
those third world
that
countries.
place.
Like what's? I don't think people can really grasp until like you like actually see it. Like just
yeah, you gotta
normal
live in
things like the projects here in the States. That'd be like high class there, right?
oh yeah.
Like even have running like. I watched that Bill Gates thing where we had about the running water and how many people died of like just diarrhea. Like 3 million people a year. Like I don't know. You go back to like appreciating stuff and simplifying. It's like, oh, it's so bad here. Is it really? It's so fucking bad.
Well, a lot of times the people that say that have never been anywhere, and a lot of people would change their minds real quick if they actually, you know, I just was fortunate able to, you know, go to those places and
you got the
see.
cheat code, didn't you?
Yeah, but you learn real quick, and it don't take you very long to figure out. Like, wow, I don't really have any problems. You think you have problems? Go to a third world country. You know, it's you don't have any
They
problems.
fight every
trust
day
me.
just to stay alive. Like
Yeah. So you're even looking. There's maybe a homeless guy, and you know, and you see a homeless guy like, God damn, I'm so glad I'm not. Poor guy. I'm so glad it's not me. Shit. There's somebody somewhere
yeah.
would love to have would love to be a homeless person.
Yeah.
In California or they'd love to be a homeless person in Des Moines. Yeah. So that's why I always say is everyone's you know living another man's dream.
Wow.
You're always living another man's dream, regardless. So just like I said, the homeless man. There's somebody in the world that wishes they were homeless in Los Angeles or something. Trust me.
Crazy, yeah.
But
It's easy to feel sorry for ourselves.
that's why we don't really have problems in my mind.
It's true.
My perspective of problem is if it's not going to kill you or physically harm you or your family members or kill, you know what I mean? It's really not a problem. So that's my gauge. Most people don't have, oh, they lost something in the mail. Oh my God, they're stressed out for fucking 4 days.
It wasn't here in 2 days, you motherfucker.
They're
I
stressed
ordered
out
a
over
package.
4 days over it, and they're screaming at their kids.
Yeah.
That's not even a problem. The problem is when you could fucking die. Okay, high risk, and if you don't do your job and someone could fucking die, we got a problem. You know what I mean? That's a real problem. So 99.9% of the people don't have fucking problems. God, or jeez.
So you
I
think
go on
people
for days about that?
Do you think people like? How do you think that we create like this? I guess maybe that it goes back to that self-importance thing, right? Create the stress of like whatever you think is your big problem, or maybe you're that big a deal.
Problems is all what people create. They just create the stress themselves. They just want to make things a problem.
100%.
I don't know. Sometimes I think people have to be stressed out or have to be in a bad mood. It's almost like God, if everything's all calm and nice, like, oh, wait a minute, there's something. There's got to be something to be mad about or freaked out about.
Hager.
So.
Sorry, I'm trying to get people to call in here, dude. You get me? I can't.
Hager, get off the Tinder.
I can't do
Get off
everything.
Tinder.
I mean, you just sit over there and you look
Hey,
fucking
I just
pretty.
get over here and
okay?
order sushi online. Did you tell them how I ordered the sushi online?
I did.
From O Sushi across the road. Well, you know what? O Sushi, get online order then.
All right, so back to. All right, so we're gonna drop you. Have you been to Amazon?
No, I have not been
Okay.
on Amazon.
Hey, we're gonna put you in Afghanistan.
All right.
Okay.
You in there?
Yeah,
Drop
been
you
there.
from. Yeah, been there obviously. Right.
Mhm.
Then drop you from a helicopter. Boom.
By yourself.
By yourself.
Naked and afraid.
Naked and afraid.
Okay.
And you get Flint. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? You're going to be there for 30 days. You have to be out there for 30 days to win $1 million.
Mhm.
What do you bring?
No threat of anything else.
No,
just shot.
no.
He's not fighting or anything. It's just
No
a shot.
guns.
Do I get a choice?
You can bring
Do I
a
get
bring a
like
bow.
Do I get a wooden like carved spear or anything?
Yep.
You get
You
one
can't
item.
Alright,
bring.
you get one of
You
those.
can't bring.
one item.
You bring one item. You just can't bring a gun. I believe.
I can't have.
Can't
a
bring
gun. I
guns.
pick a gun. So I
You
take
can
a
bring.
gun
You can
for-
bring. You can bring a bow.
You can bring one item.
It can't. It's got to be like a wood. It's like a primitive
Okay,
bow.
So a primitive bow.
Some people bring fishing line.
Let me answer the question, sir.
Yeah.
So if I was in Afghanistan, I think I would go with.
Think it through.
I would take a bow. Just because I would probably thinking fishing line because I'm thinking of Afghanistan. I would have a hard time probably catching fish there. I'm thinking of all the places. I'd take a bow because I can go in the villages and steal their goats. So I'd go with bow.
Bow.
Mm-hmm. And then I'd just steal the rest of the shit that I needed.
So what if they
That's what I'd do.
Are you
I'd
ready
steal,
for that? Where are you?
yeah.
and then I'd steal their, steal whatever I needed.
What if they
Would you
drop?
never leave him a note? and say,
But
hey,
I'd go with the
thanks?
bow just so I'd start off with.
What if they
Ready.
drop you somewhere?
But I have a flint.
No
You
fi-
said I
no
have a flint
civiliz-
as well. They definitely want to start a fire. That's what
Fire. What if they dropped you somewhere where civilization is like
Nothing.
not even close? Like you'd have to
Live off the land.
you'd have to walk 30 days to even get there.
All right.
Um,
I would want.
pair of Nikes.
I'd go start a fire. Ways.
You already had. Yeah, you already got that.
Oh, I already have that.
How like food? Like what's over there to eat? That's the biggest thing on Naked and Afraid is like food, protein,
Water.
Yeah,
water.
I would probably have a small water purifier because you can live a long time without food. It's worse to go without water. I don't know if most people know that or not, but you can
How long
live
can
a
you live on
long
just
you can
water?
live a long time without
Okay.
food.
How
It's
long can you live
it's
on
water that will the lack of water will kill you before food.
Do you know how to make-
You got plenty to eat off, right? Your body.
Yeah, you're so I would go with water purifier.
Do you know how to make primitive traps?
Fish trap.
Fish traps.
Yeah.
But
can do.
Afghanistan, is, like how, listen to that
I can
that
make
Marcus
those.
Luttrell thing. Like we went, like 7 miles before we found water or whatever.
Yeah, he stuck
found-
his head there and drank water, but
Like, water's gotta be pretty scarce there, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and plus it's 100 and some degrees, so that's a big deal. So you're
Okay,
so
maybe
that's more important to be able
I,
to have water than food, and that.
I'm just asking.
maybe no, I'm saying maybe I picked it's not possible spot to live off the land naked. I guess. Okay,
I
so
don't know.
Ogden,
okay,
Iowa. Is that
so
what you're saying?
Alaska. Okay,
Oh fuck, you'd be cold.
Alaska.
Give me a heating
There's
blanket.
there's another show.
That's where it'd be starting fire.
So there's
You know, you
another
wanna start
So
fire.
there's another show. I can't remember what it's called Alone.
Mhm.
And there's 11 people, and they get dropped in the same vicinity, but they are given.
It's like The Biggest Loser. I don't buy it.
It's crazy. Like they're given. They can wear like warmies, and they can have.
What's a worm? Is that like a Snuggie?
Yeah.
I guess
Warm-
I've
warm-
seen on TVs.
It's not Snuggie.
I got a Snuggie. Hawkeye Snuggie.
Jesus. So
You seen those before?
and they're given one hunting item, I guess. So it's a little bit more realistic than I think Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
So they build shelter, blah blah blah. Okay. You're in Alaska. What's the first thing that you know you need to do? I guess. Like
That-
what do you got? What are you gonna start? You starting shelter? Are you getting food? You getting water? Like if you don't even know your surroundings.
Well, you're talking Alaska would be shelter. Okay, so you're talking about shelter from the environment. Find an area where you're out of the environment, meaning, wind, snow, whatever the case is. Whether it's in thick tree area, or maybe there's a concaved area on the side of a hill. So that would be a location
Dig an igloo, maybe.
that you can get out of the elements a little bit.
Igloo.
Well, I don't know, but
They've
Yeah.
dropped the shows that I've seen. They've dropped them before the snow comes, but
Yeah.
it's like right before the snow's gonna
Yeah.
come.
So,
So-
and if you see, most people do. That's the first thing. You kind of find a shelter. Where am I going to build a sheltering place?
Okay.
Okay. And then, boom.
then you're good.
Would you
Okay.
go on something like that? If
Then-
someone said,
then,
"Hey,
then
you
it
wanna
would
go?"
be fire. So if you notice, most people find the shelter place. Okay, now we got a fire going. Boom. Then you're talking. Now it's food and water.
But you can use those elements based on the elements you created, right?
Yeah.
If you have a fire, you can.
You can boil water. You can boil snow.
Say you
But people think
I've
they
never
just
seen
eat snow. You shouldn't just eat snow.
Why not?
Well, because still has stuff in it, parasites and shit, right?
depending on where it
No.
lands.
So you still have to boil it. People think you can just stick snow in your mouth and eat it.
Kids eat it all the
When you
time.
go-
No, you should. It should still be boiled.
Hey, when you go, so when you used to go overseas, how important was it? Like, going on a 4 or 5 day mission, drop somewhere. The threat of parasites. Did they check you guys pretty often when you come back?
No.
On missions. Not even on. No one ever got sick from that stuff.
No.
Too fucking tough.
No, I mean they would. I mean, obviously, if
Did you guys fight Corona when you were there?
you would get. What's that?
Did you guys fight Corona when you were there?
COVID?
Corona. Yeah.
Did we fight COVID over there?
Yeah. Sorry. That's what it should
You know,
be.
maybe COVID came from Afghanistan. Who knows?
Ew.
Should probably should make a joke. I'll probably get lawsuit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, but whatever.
Wouldn't be
That's
the
the
first.
case,
Wouldn't be
I'll
the
keep
first one.
What's that?
Wouldn't be the first one.
Yeah, Chippendales is. They're so suing you for not. They own you on that poster, don't they?
Oh God. Okay. All right. So I picked bad locations.
Okay,
here
yeah,
to
let's
put
go to a
you.
different
I'm sorry.
topic.
No, you did it. You did it. No, that's
Uh,
good. That's good.
St. Charles.
St. Charles.
We're dropping you in St. Charles. We're gonna put you on Mitch's land.
Shit. That thing is to the guild. That's not Mitch's land.
Mitch-
That's
Dan, that's Dad's land. That's Dad's land.
Yeah.
All right, so they put you in Dad's land. How long do you think you could survive in that drop zone? The one that where he's got all his deer blinds
Oh yeah.
should be
Which
just
one?
Yeah.
One of them. Don't
the big
everyone
one.
Get on locations.
the
Yeah.
larger one
No,
next to the
long-
highway.
Forever. Long time.
Forever.
Because there's water. There's shelter. You move down into the lower areas
Mhm.
in the
he
woods.
said forever.
Forever.
But
Pretty
nothing.
long. Mean nothing.
What would you take? Like say we limited what you could take.
Oh, I'd take the fishing string.
Fishing.
And I already have a flint. I already have one of the flint. But if I didn't have, if I had nothing,
How would you make
just
a
give me
shelter?
something to start a fire.
How would you make a shelter?
If I didn't have nothing to steal, I would leave that area, steal some shit,
Okay.
and come back.
Yeah.
See, it's
I-
only-
you know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah,
But that's really what
see,
I
I'm
do.
trying to think of like you can't just go to someone's house and steal their shit.
But
Like,
let's
there's
say
no
I
You want to live on the
civilization.
land.
I have to stay right there.
You can make it.
I need to start a fire. That would be my. I would have to figure out a way to start a fire, and I could. It'd be hard, but I could probably do it with nothing.
Okay, so let's do this.
There's a way to do it.
You should have him take a 60-day vacation. We'll come in and just film yourself every day. Put him in that freaking spot.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We could do that.
Yeah,
But it's 60 days. Well, I'm gonna have to.
90 days.
I want to see my family for 60 days.
You promise give me 90?
30 days would just 30 days would be freaking crazy.
Well, who knows? I might be a lot of people in this country that actually get to experience that themselves. Because you never know how crazy it's gonna get out here.
Yeah, you need a bug out bag.
But yeah.
I'd go to that spot.
I have people calling me left and right that I've told them for years. I mean, hey, you might want to think about, a pistol, or, even if you don't like guns, you should at least learn how to use them. Well, guess what? No, I don't like guns. Well, guess what? They're calling me now. Yeah. They're all calling and running to my house with their tail between their legs. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And I told them all years ago, because, it's so different than the Holocaust. Oh, that'd never happen again. Oh, really? You really think that could never happen again? Don't think that shit couldn't happen again. I'm not saying be a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying don't ever tell yourself that shit couldn't happen again. So, and don't think for a second that, I'd never have to be in that situation. That's when people die, because they think that they would never be in that situation and don't care to even take a second to think about it or prepare for that. I'm not saying you need to, seclude yourself and that becomes your life, this hermit or anything like that. But you wouldn't. But don't let
Preparation.
Don't wait too late till something bad happens to make you prepare yourself a little bit. And that's what's going on now. I don't sit there and do it all day long, prep myself, but I mean, I think of some stuff, and I'm not really worried if something happens. I'll know what to do. You know what I mean? Because I put a little bit of thought into it, and I prepare. So making sure that I have a way to defend myself. Cut off my activity on my credit card. Stop buying everything with your credit card. Get cash. Stop letting people know your every single movement all day long. Stop throwing paperwork with your social security number in your trash bag and throwing it out in the dump, because that's public property now. Been telling people to do this shit for years.
Your phone.
But they didn't do it. But now they're starting to do it. Well, yeah, you should have been doing this a long time ago. So, but then the people don't do it because that'll never happen. Oh, people don't really go through our trash and look for it. Well, yeah, they do. Foreign intelligence. What do you think the United States does in foreign countries? Go through people's trash. I can tell you everything about you if I went to your house right now and took your trash out of your garbage. I bet you. I know where you guys eat. I know what time of the day you normally go to the grocery store. I probably have banking information because you got sloppy. And you're in a hurry to throw your shit away you got to clean the baby room or something. You had some paper stacked in there. Mom's coming over. Got to clean the house. Accidentally gets thrown in the garbage. And we should actually do that for fun sometime. We'll just
go through people's trash.
I grab somebody's trash, and they would be shocked of how I never met them. They'd be shocked that I could tell them how they live their weeks, and tell them who their relatives are and all that shit. But these same people, all that stuff doesn't happen to us. No, that would never happen. Oh, bug out bag. I don't ever need a bug out bag. Oh, don't ever say never.
Take everything for granted though. It also goes back to your own ego that you're above all that.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah, get over yourself. Yeah, it could happen. But at the same time, I'm not saying be a conspiracy theorist and live your life scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not. Don't do that. But don't ever say it ain't. It's never gonna happen. Because then, if you do that, you're for sure dead. You guaranteed death for yourself.
Yeah. Be prepared for.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
We're all
Don't be
We are all gonna die.
naive. Don't ever say never with anything. I mean, that's whether you're in sports or whatever. Never say I could never achieve that. Or,
That Marcus
it's the
Luttrell.
never word ever said. Don't ever think something bad couldn't happen. Yeah, it can happen. Well, the Holocaust was so long ago. The world's evolved since then. Fuck no, it hasn't. The Holocaust shit can happen again.
How many years ago?
It could. I'm not saying it is. I'm not being a conspiracy theorist, but those people that run around saying that'll never happen.
Is it less like 100 years ago? 19 what? 40?
Yeah, 44.
So it's less.
44.
Okay, one generation of someone living. Less than one generation happened.
Yeah. But my point is those things can still happen again, but the people that have the mindset that they're so naive that those things couldn't happen again, and that people are so trusting and
Actually, yeah, no. I talked about this before. The Lone Survivor guy, Marcus Luttrell, he said he's got a speech. That was on Operation Red Wing movie, Lone Survivor. He said one of the speeches. It's the thing. We're all gonna die, and once you come to grips that we're all gonna die, then you start living a lot more, right? So he talks about like cash. You have a blank check that you've like every time he deployed or went overseas, basically gave a blank check to the United States or whatever. That not that he wanted to die, but he had planned on that was maybe gonna happen. Like accepted it, right? So when you live in that mindset, you talk about it's all online every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you come back to the civilian world. Are you still at acceptance of that, or since it's not on the line as much more, do you retract maybe like a civilian, like accepting like, well, okay, we're gonna die. Okay, I know it's not on the line every day, right?
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's not the same, right?
Yeah.
So now it's okay. I didn't.
You don't make sense.
Yeah, you don't want to just you at that time you had a purpose and all the reasons that your brothers and missions and all that, and now it's like I'm not just gonna concede to die because I've accepted death, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brotherhood. I'm addicted to that shit right now.
Oh, yeah.
The YouTube videos?
No, the like enamored with it. I've watched like everything I could. Well, goes back to like, and I'm not gonna speak for you, but I just want to ask you this question and talk about it if you want to or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like watching like Marcus Luttrell, right? Oh, I'm sorry, knowing Brad, right? Watching maybe some of these other Navy SEALs and where about how big, tough and badasses they are, and the cool shit they went and did and all that other stuff. It's all cool, but for me, the part that like enamors me and like I'm jealous about, I've told you this numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
Like openly jealous is that to have however many brothers they had in a platoon or SEAL, there's a SEAL team and team guys, right? So you say SEAL team guys is that I've never you have people around you that really are willing to give their life for you. Like how many people like you? Oh, I'm close to him. Oh, are you sure? Like, have you ever put yourself in a pinch with somebody, a real pinch? I see what you have in there's Brack. Is it is it? I know it's a term used all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The brotherhood part of the teams that you miss the most, or obviously the coolest shit. But explain like you've explained this before, like the brotherhood.
I don't miss the things I miss the most by far is the guys I was around and the brotherhood by far. That outweighs everything. The second thing would be I miss the being challenged constantly. Like it was not in a, not being scared, but just that challenge of like just challenged all the time, physically and mentally. So it's almost like you become attracted to things that are challenging or hard because they're so used to being challenged all the time. And I miss that a lot because now it's like there's things that are challenging, but it's, I don't know. I just feel like it's harder for me now to get others on board with me to be challenged like I did in the Brotherhood and the teams. I mean, we were all together and we're all about doing challenging stuff. So now I have a hard time of finding others that want to be challenged. You know, because I have people like, God damn, you're too old, or what do you mean I'm too old? You know, I mean, just did an ultra triathlon like 3 years ago. I was like 47. And I swam 13 miles and, climbed the highest peak in Poland and biked across Poland. I was almost 50. I was a tired guy, but it was just I only did it because when I was asked to do it, and I'm not going to say no. And these were, Polish guys that asked me to do it, and I'm not going to say no because they're still brothers as well. I mean, that I've been with, and I did it just because it's like, okay, that's a challenge, and when it's your brothers are asking you to do it, it's almost like even if I couldn't have done it, I would have went and done it, tried to do it, just because it's almost like they asked. So, and I needed another challenge.
Purpose.
So I went and did it. It wasn't like I didn't need to be patted on the back and all that. I just wanted to go. I needed to go feel it, a challenge again, and there's some mental challenges to doing that stuff, but a lot of it was physical. But so that's the hardest time, and being removed from that environment, and now, and trying to find people that are just honest with yourself and like, hey, don't tell me, yeah, let's go do it, and then fizzle out a week later. That's a lot of times the stuff I deal with. I see people, a lot of times people start these diets, these workouts all the time. And I've had people have me write them workouts and diet plans. I have a lot of experience working out and swimming all of my years in the SEAL team. But it's now anymore, I just don't do it anymore because it's like they will do good for a week or two and it'll fizzle out.
It's more letdown for you.
Yeah, and I get let down.
Then it knocks you down.
Like, yeah. So I just...
It's hard to find. You got to find challenge. Like,
yeah, so a lot of times, but when I was in the SEAL teams, that brotherhood was... the brotherhood was the best part about going to war, even in Afghanistan. It wasn't about people think, oh, it was about shooting people and all this. No. The best part about war is the brotherhood, is going through hard times with people that have your back no matter what, and they would put their life on the line for you. There's nothing really stronger than that. And now I can't really, what do I got now? They're hard to find. And that's okay. It's not anybody's problem. It's not their problem. I'm not saying that people are bad people for not being like that. It's just I just wish sometimes people would experience life in a more of a high risk environment. And that would, and to be immersed in that for a while would change them dramatically.
it would make the output of everything go up, though.
Instead of stop making your assumptions over what you saw in the news. Stop making your assumptions because you read some book. I've actually argued with people before that wanted to tell me all about Korea because they took like 4 college classes and did some thesis on South Korean government or something. And never even been there. You've never actually been in the streets of Korea. You've never actually been, because all this stuff that goes on in these countries, it's in no books. It's in no news. But that's the problem. People like
Same
okay,
stuff that's
good.
going
You read about South Korea and you have a lot of knowledge about it.
Someone put that down
And
for a
some of
reason.
that great, and you got some history stuff, but you're gonna argue about me, and I've actually been there. And you find out when you actually go there and experience this stuff. Oh wow, this place really isn't what they write in books, or this place isn't what they put on the news.
Well, look at here in the
Yeah.
States. I mean, here, the thing I would say, like when you're self-talk though, do you use so you can look at it two different perspectives. One is you don't have that anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you do your self-talk and reminisce,
That's where I get it.
Are you thankful that you actually were given the opportunity to experience that rather than?
Yeah, and how I get my positive thoughts is I think back on those times. That's usually where that's my go-to when I need to feel good. Is my thoughts go back to my teammates, and in those moments, I don't think about the bad moments of bad things that happen. I go to the kind of the funny times, or I mean, the times where, when I think about the brother, I think about just how the funny stuff that happened. I don't sit there and reminisce about the bad stuff. Yeah, but those are great thoughts, and I feel that it's kind of a funny. I have those times when I'm like, there's a part of me. Sometimes it feels like I don't like to think about it because I don't like reminding myself that I don't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. And I almost can get a little sad if you want to know the truth. It's probably no difference if you were in wrestling for all these years and coaching and all of a sudden you're done. You probably like to go think back on certain times, but there are probably those times, but too, you don't like to think about it because you don't like reminding yourself like, shit, I'm retired. I don't even do it anymore. I don't like I didn't. So when I would think about SEAL team, sometimes there's those moments where I don't like to remind myself I don't do that cool shit anymore.
Yeah.
Because that shit was fun. And I've done a podcast about war is fun, and I've had people, oh my God, what do you say, Nagel, war? You like, how could it be fun? And who do you think are the people that say that?
Never been to war.
Never been to war, but they don't understand. I talk about war as being fun, not in the fact of, yeah, bad things happen in war. I get that. But war is fucking fun. And I'll tell you why. Because to me, it was like playing Friday night football. If you ever played football, and you know what, like on Friday nights, you put your pads on, the crowd's cheering, you smell the popcorn.
Metallica's going off.
But I mean, in SEAL teams, it was a Friday night for me every time because we were on missions every night. But it was being like Friday night football every night for me. And you're the best fucking team in the state. And you're going to win. And every dude on your team is badass. And that's what it was like. And that's why war was, it was fun. Is there bad things that happen? Yes. But when I say war is fun, it's the fact of you're around people that are putting their lives on the line for you, and when I talk about the brotherhood, that's like true love. For a brother or best friend. That's real. Like I said, SEAL team guys call me. They just happen to think about me. They're calling me real quick. They didn't need nothing.
That's good.
So and that's the big part. Why I think war, like I said, war was fun, and being in those places and being around that team, and obviously that's what I miss the most about teams.
Was it fun? Is also that you had huge challenges thrown at you every day. You had to overcome, and if you pass them, you live. If you don't, you die. Like anything we're good at, and you feel like you're getting better at, or you conquer. Fuck, it's exhilarating, right? Like you get adrenaline rush. I mean, there'd be no more ultimate high than what you experience every day, like performance. You pass the test, you win. If you don't, you die. Okay, like that. No drug can do that for you. Self adrenaline, whatever.
Yeah.
So when you come back and then you experience that high for so long, like existing against a bunch of zombies, it's like, fuck, I get it. So it makes sense to me now.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just grew up a different. Right, just my life was different. My adult life was different than most people. So it's just hard to. You can't expect people to. And part of that, I think the problem is I had was when I came back to Iowa. I expected I could just get dudes I knew, hey, let's jump overboard.
But it'd be nice,
conquer some
cooler.
shit. But they didn't. I just was kind of just cut from a different cloth, man. Or I've kind of just. I'm not saying it's better or worse or whatever the case was. It's just my environment was different, and you know, I'm a lot of my buddies now, like I said, that are my age, or they're I'm just too old to do that shit.
They go home and watch
Oh,
sit on the
fuck,
couch.
you're in your late 40s, and I'm like the complete opposite. I'm like feel like I'm 20 years old still. To be absolutely honest with you, and I can physically outperform most 20-year-olds. I'm fucking 50. I don't do that because I need a pat on the back. I just do it just because I don't know. It just feels good to be able to do that.
So when I was down at your house yesterday, Veterans Day was Wednesday, right?
Mm-hmm. It was.
Fuck that. That card your fucking son made you is awesome, dude.
Oh, my son wrote that veterans card for me. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Dude, like,
That was
what
cool.
grade's he in?
8th grade.
8th grade, like, for him to, like, what he wrote and to understand the whole process and what his dad did and shit. It was fucking.
Mm-hmm.
I read it. I'm like, oh my god, you gotta put this somewhere. Like,
oh, that's a big deal.
Like
it took some time with it too. Drew an American flag and
the trident on it.
Yeah, it was.
So all that has to make your
trident.
heart feel full, like knowing that your son understands. Like,
Yes.
again, not patting you on the back, but is cognizant of, hey.
Yeah, no, it's.
And that's not you feeding him it either. That's him, like.
Because that brings me back, like Veterans Day, you asked me, and I said when I was younger, that's why it meant a lot to me. I got that card. When I was younger, that's how Veterans Day was kind of to me. It was like, I always like my dad. That was the time I really would think about all the coolest. Because when I was young, I used to be fascinated with my dad's. He's had this chest of Vietnam.
He told us that, yeah.
The jungle stuff. So Veterans Day, when I was younger, I associated Veterans Day with my dad, and that's how I looked at it. That's like my dad's day, kind of when I was a kid, you know. But now that I've gotten older, and I look at Veterans Day, I probably look at it more, not even never have anything about myself. It's I think about, you know, my grandpa, my dad, you know, I kind of think about others or guys that are actually like have gotten injured real bad in war. I kind of think more about those guys to me more than Veterans Day, and even people outside the military as veterans, like police officers. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of police officers used to be in National Guard, Marines, whatever, prior service. You know, veterans. I mean, there's a lot of other things. So I even look at Veterans Day now, even outside of military, even though they say Veterans Day, but hell, I mean, anything public service, basically, is how I look at Veterans Day. So it's it's actually much more than military. You know,
I think I talked to Adam about this, like Veterans Day. It's one of those things where, like, after the day is over yesterday, I felt like, well, why don't I reach out to these people more often, right? Like, what's it for you? Like, are you expecting to hear from people that you normally don't have? What are your feelings when you hear from these people? Because
what did I say?
They have, I think people have genuine. There's 100 people that probably don't reach out to you, but there's some that do. But like, how do you? I guess how do you feel?
I don't
expect.
I don't expect. It's almost kind of like your birthday. I don't expect people to call me on my birthday.
Yeah.
And I don't get upset if someone forgets my birthday. I don't really. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those deals. Like my dad forgets to call me on my birthday. I forget to call my dad on his birthday sometimes.
Yeah.
Neither one of us give a shit.
Both of you guys find your keys though.
But we really don't. Neither one of us give a shit. You know, I mean, it's just like, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, I forgot to call you on your birthday.
He asked me about it. He goes, "What about?" She called Nagel. I go, "Well, here's the thing. Like for me, I'm not discounting it. It should be a day recognition, but
yeah,
I think a lot of people use it to like check the box. Like I called so and so, but
if
they don't check him on regular, it's like
they're probably,
it's kind of self-fulfilling sometimes. Like, well, I called so and so on Veterans Day.
Kind of like Valentine's Day. People go buy flowers just because they kind of have to check the box. You know what I mean? So you go buy a bouquet of flowers and like you feel like you have to. Well, you should just go buy flowers for your wife or girlfriend, whenever the hell. Why does it have to be Valentine's Day? Because then it feels like people feel obligated. It doesn't seem real then. Oh, here's your bouquet. Well, why does it got to be Valentine's Day?
Where's the chocolate?
I think
Same
it's
thing
just,
for Veterans Day, but yeah, but I don't expect anything from people, and I think sometimes, yeah, I guess I don't even really. I've never put much thought with that. I don't expect people to.
yeah. I
You
guess
know.
I
And I
guess,
do think people are genuine when they.
okay.
I absolutely think people are genuine when they say it. So,
And I would assume people would be, and I think it's just
and I know there's a lot of people
just
that
like-
will not say it, even if they had to or wanted to, or no, if they were told they had to, or let's say, there's no way they're going to tell a veteran Happy Veterans Day. There's those people too. So,
yeah.
And obviously, I don't care about them because they fucking hate who I am in
Yeah.
the first place. But do I care? No.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I just yesterday I had like a guilt, like also like Mother's Day too. I mean, I talked to my mom quite a bit, but like for some reason, like it's always like it means more on Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
The same where like I respect veterans too, but like I don't come out and say like, hey, thank you for protecting my life and you risking your freaking life. You know, you're talking about your brothers, you're risking your life for your brothers, but you're really at the end of the day, you're doing that to protect the United States, fucking everyone, right? So like,
But you
I
don't
also
think of it
I feel
that way,
yeah
but
I feel
yeah.
guilty, like you don't think about it every day, but like when you do it and you're like, God, I should do that more often. Like with my mom, like I don't know if I should feel bad or not, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I don't know if I should feel bad that maybe I didn't reach out to every single veteran that served, you know, and say thank you, you know, or like that, or in my mind, like I'm gonna say it to the people that
you know.
I know, or like I know that
Yeah.
I know it's gonna mean something. I guess I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that means everything to somebody different. I guess
Yeah. No, I think I don't think
I might be
you're-
overthinking it.
Yeah, I
way
think you're
overthinking.
overthinking. A little bit, too.
I mean, I hang out with fellers like every other day. I'm overthinking it probably. So,
He's a handful too.
yes,
He's probably causing a lot of chaos.
he might.
isn't
He might.
Yeah.
Might. Well, I mean, we'll be done for today because I mean I can go along. I want to go so way deeper in this. We had you on. We had like three shows, but
Well, we could do a lot more shows, or
yeah.
you know,
What's
have me
the
back again sometime? We'll get some other topics, or see what everybody else wants to listen to. I mean,
Yes.
they can get a slew of questions together or something.
yeah
I can talk about whatever.
the one question that people want to know is the bug out bag. What would be in your bug out bag? Where would you go?
Mhm.
What could you do? Because they want to be like, okay, if the Navy
Food, shelter, and fire, and minimize the bulkiness of that bug out bag, because bug out bag is supposed to be, you know, it's bug out. You're small,
Okay.
light, and like I said, you know, fishing string, little hooks, little tiny hooks. Don't need a pole. You can use a stick. You know what I mean? Water, food, water. That's the big ones.
What do you think
If you
about?
could stay along those lines,
What-
and
Here's another thing too. I want to challenge you on. Okay, so
Yep.
you like going out and doing this in disconnecting, right?
Mhm.
Does it? What do you think about like? Maybe you do or don't watch shows like with this, but like, what about connecting like just a GoPro to you, and like just would that be? Is that not even getting away from the chaos? Say like you just filmed yourself going out and setting these traps and like
Oh,
talk
yeah, I
like
do.
talking to yourself.
I do some of those for when I'm out or hunting or checking traps or something. I'll send those to fellers and some other guys I know, just because I want to humor them,
Yeah,
and they get I
think
I
it'd
make
be-
some little, you know, I put my little try to be funny spin on it, and I do it for a few buddies. They like them, so I just kind of make funny videos.
I could watch. I mean, I feel like I could watch you setting traps or your mindset of why you're doing this for days. But I also respect the thought of like I'm just trying to get out and not do this. So that's ever an option. Like, hey, one day come down. Let's go trapping. We're gonna film this son of a bitch, and we're gonna. I think it'd be awesome.
We go
So
coyote hunting tonight. We got thermal. I got thermal now.
okay,
I use thermal, so you can see it.
you can see him from how far can you see him away?
Oh, a long ways away.
Okay.
Long ways. Plenty. I mean,
Is it illegal? Is it legal? Is it legal?
it's legal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. For coyotes.
For coyotes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for having
2
me.
hours.
Dude, that's long.
It's 4:00.
Holy cow.
We've been talking for we did a wrestling show from 12 to 1 with fellers, and then we came back and did happy hour here. So had some sushi. Only had a couple beers. It was I thought it was gonna be a crazy day, but it wasn't. So thank
Awesome,
you,
man.
appreciate it. Thank you everybody again for watching Hager's Happy Hour tonight. The Hawkeye game, Friday night Hawkeye game. So that's kind of cool. But hopefully everybody has a good weekend. Drop your comments in the comment section here below. If you want to hear from Brad again, or how about this? Encourage this like trapping with Nagel, trapping with
Or
the seal. Let's
Pick
do
some
it.
topics or questions.
Let's do it.
We'll do it.
All right. Thanks again for watching. Have a good
Later.
weekend, everybody.